So you mentioned agencies. What is an agency and what's involved?
So an agency, basically, it's just an agreement. So this is the most basic account to set up. It doesn't require any sort of legal document to be drafted. We have an easy document that kind of just fill in the blank and pick what you want us to do. But what it is, it's just an agreement between two parties. We're the agent, our customer is directing the agent what to do on their behalf. So it basically, they can tell us to do anything, as long as it's not illegal or against public policy. So they have needs, whether it's investment management, you know, maybe they've come into money through inheritance or lottery or, you know, something like that, maybe a little bit unexpected. And how many people know how to manage $100,000 or $200,000 or $300,000? Most people aren't managing that every day. So they could come to us and say, hey, I've got this money, what can I do with it? And we can help them with investment management. We can help them just with everyday things like paying bills and collecting income. And that's how it often starts. I feel like for our department, we'll get typically a little bit older individual who does not have family around, and so they don't have someone to help them with those kind of things. So someone will refer them to Security Federal, or they'll be a customer, and they'll say, hey, this person might be able to benefit from an agency. So we'll sit down, we'll talk about what this agreement is, and then they'll tell us what they need done. And that might be, we just pay their bills monthly. We collect their Social Security, we collect their pension, we collect any other income, investment income that they might get, and then we use that to pay their bills. And all their bills just come straight to us here in the trust department. Cable bill, cell phone bill, if they have a mortgage or rent, insurance, any of those bills, they just come straight to us. A credit card bill, those will come to us, we use the money, we pay it for them so they don't have to worry about those things. And typically, I think that's pretty common use of the agency, but that's what it is. It's just an agreement between two parties, and they tell us what they need done. It can be very different from that. We have agencies that include a business, so the business is our customer, we're their agent, so they tell us what they need done. That can include payroll. We do payroll for several companies. It can include investment management for that company, and then it includes just regular, same thing, bill payment, income collection. So we are basically their back office, and then their executive director, whoever's managing it, can focus on managing that company, and we as their agent do what they tell us to do.
Wow.
So
would they come in and just talk with you to figure out what they need, or how does that work?
yeah, if any of this kind of someone can relate to and say, gosh, I need help with that, anybody can call us up or stop in at any time. There's no cost, and we can just have a conversation about what it is they're needing, and then most likely we can do it through an agency incredibly inexpensively, and we can get started easily within a matter of a day.
Wow.
Yeah. And like I said, normally a lot of times it's someone that's a little bit older that's here on their own, or it's a sibling or their children might be here visiting, and so they're searching out for options like, how can I do this for mom or dad? We're in Florida, we're in southern Indiana, we're in California, but they have a need and they want to be here either in their home or they're at a care facility of some sort, and they have needs. So while they're here or on the phone, we can talk over what the options are, tell us what they need, and we get going.
Wow.
Yeah, can you think of any? I mean, that's basically what it is.
That's basically it, and I think
not complicated.
this is something I didn't know existed until I came here. And I wish I'd known a few years earlier, because when my husband's grandfather passed away, his grandmother was lost. She never paid a bill in her life, and so she had all this money, and she didn't know how to pay her bills.
Oh wow.
So so everyone in the family, which was living out of state, was trying to help her, but knowing something like this existed, it's so nice. It would have been so easy to get those bills paid, to make sure that she was secure, that she knew her power wasn't going to turn off because she forgot to pay the bills because she couldn't manage it anymore.
Wow.
So,
Absolutely right.
yeah.
And we've had other situations where people are named in like a will or a trust. So in a will, there's an executor or personal representative that's named to do then what's inside of that will, like all the duties. Or in a trust, there's a trustee named. And we've had situations where children have been named in one of those two capacities, and they don't know what to do. So, but they want to do it because mom and dad named them. So they had like a sense of duty. So they wanted to do it, but they had no idea what it meant, or they just didn't have time. And so they've come to us and say, now what? And so we can point to this agency and say, you can stay, you can remain executor, or you can remain successor trustee, but hire us as your agent. And you just tell us to do what needs to be done. And we will call them up if we have questions, or they can say you've got complete discretion. Just make sure I'm informed, normally with a statement or something like that. But yeah, it can be at whatever level, and it can be that for that same an executor that doesn't want to not be executor but has no time or no knowledge or not complete, so they can hire us as agent.
Wow.
Or same thing with the trustee. And we've had that, both of those situations where we were just their agent and we helped them basically walk through that, or we did it for them, but they knew it was done right.
Right.
And there's a lot of value in that. You can sleep at night, you don't have to worry about, gosh, did I do that right? When's that tax return due? Did I have all the 10, all those things we can help them walk through.
And it sounds very customizable. If they need all hands on, or if they just need a little bit of consultation almost.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is. And the other thing about all of these, whether it's a trust or a state or an agency, people also kind of have an idea that it's really expensive. And our fees just aren't that expensive. I mean, there is a fee. And just, completely transparent, typically it's 1.1% of the assets that we're managing. And then we've got an annual minimum of $1,000, which seems like a lot when you're talking about it, but it's $83 a month. So for certain people that are struggling on a month-to-month basis, if there's $83 extra there, that struggle can go away. And that's, they don't have to maintain really any balance in the account. I mean, they might have $10 in the account at the end of the month, and that's okay. They don't have $50,000 or $100,000. They just have income that we're helping them collect, expenses that we're helping pay, and then they've got that $83, which would be an added expense. But I don't know that that's overly expensive. I mean, it depends on everybody's situation.
It depends on the situation, yeah.
But it seems, to be that's a cable bill or a
Right.
cell phone bill.
Right.
So it doesn't seem like, hopefully, our goal is that it's not, it doesn't stop somebody from getting the help that we might be able to provide them.
Yes, especially considering the service that you are providing, to take away that burden of worrying, or to take away the burden of worrying about your family member who needs this service.
Right.
I think that's definitely understandable.
Yeah. So that's a little bit about agencies. Very flexible, very customizable, not overly expensive, and you just get a lot done quickly. There's no, like I said, there's no document that you need to pay to have that document created or drafted. It's something we already have on file. Sign, tell us what you want done, we're off to the races.
Wow.
So